Hi, I'm Colonel Brad Meyers, the 115th Medical Group Commander and a family physician.
Hi, my name is Lieutenant Colonel Kate Mccomb. I'm the Deputy Commander of the Med Group, and I also am an ERPA on the civilian side.
2020 has been trying, hasn't it? We've gone through an unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic. 2021 is going to be better, and it's going to be better because now we can go from being on defense to being on offense. We now have a couple of effective vaccines for COVID-19, and we'd like to talk to you a little bit more about those vaccines.
So I think it's pretty cool. Wisconsin National Guard got chosen for 700 of the Moderna vaccines. The reason they chose the 700 was they knew that we were involved in basically doing the COVID mission. And so those original 700 are allocated for members that are on 502F for COVID response.
You know, one concern I think that we all have with there being a limited number of vaccines now, I think later on we'll see more, is that, you know, of those 700, should we be good stewards of those vaccines? And how are we good stewards of that vaccine?
I think, you know, we haven't really used as many of those 700 as we thought. So what the CDC and DOD has done is they've created kind of a tiering system. So the first tier was those involved in direct patient care. And so that was a lot of our members on 502F. Then they looked at some of the medical group, you know, those of us who maybe didn't get it from civilian side. And from there, they looked at the critical missions, so like our ACA mission. So right now, that's for our base where we're looking at taking care of. Now it's ever changing. So once we go through those, we may look at, you know, firefighters and security forces. And again, it's voluntary.
Sure.
And then from there, as we get more vaccines, hopefully our goal is to move towards just the general public.
Sure. And ultimately the goal around the nation is to have what's called herd immunity. So we have a high percentage of people that are vaccinated, and then the pandemic's done.
Yeah.
Because people are protected.
And I think the number is somewhere around 70% that they're hoping to have for us to get that herd immunity.
Excellent. And people might think, gosh, you know, you're in the first 700. This is an experimental vaccine. Is it safe? It is. What happens is that messenger RNA is a genetic particle or chain of amino acids that's used to make a specific part of the virus. And the specific part of the virus that it makes, it causes our body to make, is the little spike protein that sticks off the edge of the virus. You can see that in this picture. It's red. So that little piece of protein doesn't cause disease, but it causes the virus, which is the gray portion, to enter into our cells and cause the immune response that leads to the illness that we suffer from when we get COVID-19. It doesn't mess with our DNA. It doesn't change our chemistry other than revving up our immune system so that it senses that this foreign protein, which is that little red spike, is in our body, and then that helps us then with our immune system kill the virus and prevent the COVID-19 infection.
So basically, kind of the way to look at it is the vaccine goes in, it creates this protein, and the protein, in a sense, mimics or kind of looks like those spikes on the virus. And then our body starts to build the fighter cells or the antibodies. Is that kind of how that works?
That's an excellent way of looking at it. Absolutely.
Okay. And then from what I understand, once our body makes that protein, it kind of gets rid of it pretty quickly. And so that's gone, and then the antibodies stick around.
Right,
is that correct?
That's right.
Okay.
Does the virus, which makes you sick, can this vaccine give you the virus?
Nope, it can't give you the virus. It only will create the immune response. So I know some people are worried, I'm going to get this, and then the next day I'm going to test positive for COVID. That's not true.
It just doesn't work that way.
No.
It's just like the influenza virus. When you get a flu shot, you can't get flu from it. Now people say, I don't know, a couple of days after I get the shot, I feel a little bad. Well, that's good. That means that what you're feeling is your body's antibody response. It means you're getting a good take with that vaccine. Mm-hmm. And some recent data shows that even after the first shot, one has about a 90% chance of being protected. Now, the The standard protocol is to have 2 shots. For Pfizer, it's in 21 days. One has the repeat. For the Moderna shot that I had, it's 28 days for the repeat. Having both shots gives you an excess of 95% protection. And that's amazing. I want to summarize just a little bit about some of the myths. So let me go through a few and holler if I missed one. But one myth, you can catch COVID from the vaccine. No, you can't. It only makes the little protein. It doesn't make the virus. The protein's what makes your body kill the virus. You can't catch it. 2, that it alters your DNA. It doesn't. It doesn't work that way. Messenger RNA has nothing to do with the DNA that's in our bodies, only with that little protein. So it doesn't mess with your DNA. That there's a microchip in it. Well, that's obviously not true. It's a liquid. There are no microchips in it. It's stored at a real cold temperature. No microchips. Okay.
What's important at this point, I think, is for people to, if they're getting contacted by their supervisors or commanders about if they want to get it, to let them know and to respond right away, because we're constantly having to ask for information, and it's important for people to respond right away. I think it's also important that if they have questions, that they ask those questions, don't you think?
Absolutely. If you do have questions, look on the Fighter Wing app. There's an Ask the Medic. Please go ahead and answer your question then, and I personally respond to those, and so I'll get a response back to you. I think the COVID vaccine allows us now to go from being on the defense. We're doing our mitigation measures. We're all pretty good at that now, but we're going now on the offense. We're actually going to stamp out this infection by giving effective vaccine. So I encourage everybody to get vaccinated, if at all possible.